I love my job because hearing the children's remarks can definitely put a smile on her face. So we went out and interviewed some of our students. And get ready, because
kids say the darndest things.
How does a rabbi get ready for Hanukkah?
I think he sets up and then sings his blessings to practice. With Shabbat, they light the candles, they drink the wine, takes out the Torah. Because Noah and his ark made Hanukkah also, and light the candles up to sing the song for the candles. Because they like Hanukkah. Sometimes they just sleep and until Hanukkah starts, and then when Hanukkah starts, they just sing the song and then get presents. They light the menorah and they put the candles in. They put the candles in the menorah and then they light it. I don't know. I think he gets the menorah and all ready. Is that correct?
What is the best way to spin a dreidel?
Spinning it really fast and landing on all the gelt. Spin it. To keep balance it. Spinning can fast when you spin it super fast. Spin it super fast.
Can you show me how you wrap a present?
can you say King Antiochus?
King Antiochus. King Antiochus. King Antiochus. Antiochus. King Antiochus. King Antiochus.
Where do your parents hide your Hanukkah presents?
I think they had it on the the menorah like the Christmas tree. My playroom's really big, so they hide them everywhere around them, but sometimes they hide them on the steps because they're right next to my playroom. So last Hanukkah when I was in my usual house, she hid one where all the other stuff that I don't play with anymore is. I don't know. In our toy kitchen and their closet. And they also hide it in their drawer under the piano. Usually they're usually in the attic, in the car. They always hide it in the mailbox so I won't find it. I don't know. Sometimes I closet, sometimes next to my dresser. By the bench on the bench.
Happy Hanukkah! Oh Hanukkah, come light the menorah. Let's have a party, we'll all dance the hora. Gather round the table, we'll give you a treat. Sevivon to play with and latkes to eat. And while we are playing, the candles are burning low. One for each night they shed a sweet light to remind us of days long ago. One for each night they shed a sweet light to remind us of days long ago. Oh Hanukkah, come light the menorah. Let's have a party, we'll all dance the hora. Gather round the table, we'll give you a treat. Sevivon to play with and latkes to eat. And while we are playing, the candles are burning low. One for each night they shed a sweet light to remind us of days long ago. One for each night they shed a sweet light to remind us of days long ago.
I had a little dreidel, I made it out of clay, and when it's dry and ready, oh dreidel I shall play. Oh dreidel, 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 I made it out of clay, and when it's dry and ready, oh dreidel I shall play. It has a lovely body, with legs so short and thin, and when it gets so tired, it drops and then I win. Oh dreidel, 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 I made it out of clay, and when it's dry and ready, oh dreidel I shall play. My dreidel is so playful, it loves to dance and spin. A happy game of dreidel, come play now, let's begin. Oh dreidel, 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 I made it out of clay, and when it's dry and ready, oh dreidel I shall play.
Shabbat Shalom and Happy Hanukkah. We thought you'd like to see some of our choirs sing and see their faces, but now we're gonna start with everybody together with a little funky dreidel. Can you give us a little funky music? And we've got our choir here and our kids choir, and they're gonna join us. Let's put our hands together, ready? I have a little dreidel, I made it out of clay. And when it's dry and ready on my dreidel, I shall play. Oh, dreidel, 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 I made it out of clay. dreidel. Try to stop me if you dare. A great miracle can happen here because it happened there. Oh, dreidel, dreidel, dreidel. I made it out of clay. Sing it, Jake. And when it's dry and ready, a dreidel I shall play. Spin that funky dreidel and let the games begin. It's bound to land on one of them, the fiddle, hay, and shin. A dreidel, dreidel, dreidel. I made it out of clay. And when it's dry and ready, a dreidel I shall play. Come on, sing with me, Michelle. I have a little dreidel and I made it out of clay. And you know when it's dry and ready, and my dreidel I shall play. Oh, dreidel, dreidel, dreidel. I made it out of clay. And when it's dry and ready, oh, dreidel I shall play. Oh, yeah.
Happy Hanukkah, Temple Bethel. I want you to do me a favor as you begin. I want you to just take a moment. I want you to look at the person to the right of you. And look at the person to the left of you. That's what people look like in 3D. We're so used to seeing people only in little boxes on our screen. I saw someone the other day. I'm like, my gosh, I haven't seen you in so long. They said, I don't know, I see you every Friday night. It's so wonderful to have so many people back here in the warm embrace of our congregation, our community. For those of you who are joining us online tonight, we feel your presence with us as well, wherever it is that you are celebrating this Shabbat and Hanukkah, this 6th night of the Festival of Lights. The Hebrew word Chanukah means dedication. It was the celebration of the rededication of the sacred space of the temple after the Maccabees had vanquished King Antiochus and his Hellenistic army, returned them to their homes in Syria, and found a need to make that space holy again. How do you make a space that was once holy, holy again? Our tradition teaches by kindling light. And it's not just kindling the light on the ancient menorah that stood in the temple or the Chanukiah that we have on our bima. It's by rekindling the light that we have in our hearts. We're taught that the soul is like a candle that burns inside of us. At the beginning of our lives, through the love that is shared for us by our families and by the Holy One, that candle is kindled and lit. And over time, it burns brightly inside. There are times when we are so excited, when we are so passionate, when we are doing the things we love to do more than anything in the world, that we feel like we're fired up. That we feel like that light is burning with full intensity. And then there are times in our life when we're sad, or we're disappointed, or we're lonely, or we're made to feel like we're not really our full selves, or who we wish we could be. And it's almost like it feels like the candle is going out. So just like when King Antiochus went into the temple and he took the menorah and turned out all of those lights, snuffed them out, extinguished those flames, there are times in our life where we wonder whether maybe our inner flame is extinguished too. But Hanukkah is a time when we rekindle that flame inside, where we feel that sense of light come from within. Even though it's really dark outside, we can create so much light within. Rabbi Abraham Isaac Kook, the first chief rabbi of Israel, says that it is our obligation not just to keep that light burning, but to allow it to shine out into the world, to reveal what our inner light has to illumine for the rest of the universe. Because if you add your light, and you add your light, and you add your light, and you add your light, all of those lights will come together to create the greatest, brightest beacon of holiness that we could possibly fashion. And so on this night of Hanukkah, on this night of dedication and rededication, we are so blessed to celebrate that, almost rededicating and rekindling the light of this sacred space with your presence and your light. Shabbat Shalom, everyone, and happy Hanukkah. I'd like for you to do something we haven't done in a while. Turn to the people near you, those who are seated in front of you, behind you, next to you. Wish them Shabbat Shalom and happy Hanukkah. If you don't know those people, make sure you introduce yourselves. It's now my privilege to invite up Fran and Art Siegel, who will lead us in the kindling of the Shabbat candles and the celebration of Kiddush.
What is the Jewish fascination with light? Light is how God's presence Light is how God's presence fills the universe. It is the energy that sparks the dawn of creation. It is a flash of insight when we discover an essential truth. It is the glow that radiates from nurturing the bonds of love we forge with one another. In the radiance of the Shabbat candles is reflected the light of creation. In the luminescence of Shabbat is reflected God's light in our souls.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat.
Wine, our symbol of joy and celebration, help us, O God, on this holy Shabbat in Hanukkah, to give thanks for the miracles that surround us. Help us to use this festival of light to spread the light of God's presence into the darkest corners of our world and the darkest places in our spirit. Lead us on this Shabbat of dedication to rededicate our lives to the higher and holier of purposes which God has asked us to pursue.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. Amen. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav, v'ratzavanu, v'shabbat kodsho, v'ahava uvratzon, hinchilanu, zikaron lema'aseh v'reshit, ki hu yom tehillah, lemikra'e kodesh, zecher l'tziat Mitzrayim, kivanu v'acharta, ve'otanu kidashta, v'kohamim, ve'shabbat kodshecha, ve'ahava uvratzon, Hinchatanu, Baruch atah Adonai, Mekadesh HaShabbat. Amen.
Chaim. Tonight we have the privilege of celebrating a different kind of Hanukkah, a different kind of dedication. The dedication that we celebrate as parents bring their children to begin their studies of our heritage and our traditions. The celebration of consecration, where we render the pursuit of Jewish knowledge and wisdom a holy endeavor. And so as our parents of our newest religious school students celebrate a Hanukkah of limudim, a dedication of studies, we celebrate now with our newest students.
Light one candle for the Maccabee children. Give thanks that their light didn't die. Light one candle for the pain they endured when the right to exist was denied. Light one candle for the terrible sacrifice justice and freedom demand. Light one candle for the wisdom to know when the peacemaker's time is at hand. Don't let the light go out. It's lasted for so many years. Don't let the light go out. Let it shine through our love and our tears.
What is the memory that's valued so deep to never become our own foe? Light one candle for those who are suffering the pain we learned so long ago. Light one candle for all we believe in. Let anger not tear us apart. Light one candle to bind us together with a peace as the song in our heart. Don't let the light go out. It's lasted for so many years. Don't let the light go out. Let it shine through our love and our tears.
What is the memory that's valued so highly that we keep alive in that flame? What's the commitment to those who have died when they cry out they've not died in vain? We have come this far, always believing that justice will somehow prevail. This is the burden, and this is the promise, and this is why we will not fail. Don't let the light go out. It's lasted for so many years. Don't let the light go out. Let it shine through our love and our tears. Don't let the light go out. Don't let the light go out. Don't let the light go out. Don't let the light go out.
As we look at our beautiful new students, our children who are celebrating consecration tonight, we ask ourselves an important question. If we can put the slide up on the screen. What is important? What really matters? To what should we be dedicated as individuals, as parents, as members of a community? It is to make life matter, to bring holiness into our world. It is to share love and to sanctify life. It is to grow in knowledge and wisdom. It is to pursue justice and to amplify compassion. It is to protect the vulnerable and to expand freedom of the oppressed. It is to cultivate generosity and gratitude and to fashion peace. And again, the slide on the screen that begins with congregation. The slides have disappeared. Okay. So, parents, we're going to ask you, if you are a parent of our consecrants tonight, if you will stand in your place. And if you will repeat after me. Adonai, our God, you founded the world in wisdom and sustained it with love. You have given us minds that can understand, hearts that can feel, souls that can love, and spirits that can soar. Let us commit to weave our family into the fabric of this community. For it is only in the web of community that we can truly discover God's mission for our lives. As our children see us in study, may the passion we develop lead them to an even greater commitment to Torah. Lead them to an even greater commitment. We give thanks for the sacred gift of tradition, of community, and the gift of life. And together we say, Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam shehecheyanu v'kimanu v'higianu lazman hazeh. Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, ruler of the universe, who has kept us and sustained us and enabled us to reach this most joyous day.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam shehecheyanu v'kimanu v'higianu lazman
Tonight is the 6th night of the Festival of Lights. And we are taught that you don't just take matches and light the Chanukah, you have to light an individual candle, the shamash, and it's from that light that we kindle all the rest. The amazing thing about a candle, like our souls, like love itself, is it takes just a little bit of nurturing to bring it to light. But once it's lit, it will kindle an infinite number of other lights without ever being diminished. And so as we celebrate this 6th night of Hanukkah, we think about not only the spark of Jewish tradition that we kindle in your hearts tonight, we think about how each of you, our young students, will grow in your own individual way to become a shamash, to become someone who will spread your inner light, your individual insights, your individual understandings, your unique opinions with our world so that we can be illumined by your wisdom, by your love, and by your life in your hearts. And so, everyone, please join me with the blessings for the lighting of the Chanukiah.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehavik ner
of our consecrants, and we look forward to many, many, many years of learning with you and from you on your Jewish educational journeys at Temple Bethel. There are special gifts and certificates for our consecrants that you can pick up after services. And now, children, you can return to your parents in your seats. If you don't know where they are, parents, you can stand up and see if you can find parents.
This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Deep in my heart, deep in my heart, I'm gonna let it shine. Deep in my heart, I'm gonna let it shine. Deep in my heart, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Everybody, this little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine.
Special word about Temple Bethel's magnificent Chanukah. This Chanukah was fashioned by an amazing sculptor and blacksmith in the southern part of Israel. His name is Yaron Bab. Yaron Bab lives just outside the area of the Gaza Strip. And during periods of wartime, he would notice that these rockets would land in his backyard and in the fields all around his house. And he wanted to take these ugly weapons of war and do something that would promote some different kind of vision with that metal. And so he took the metal from those individual rockets and fashions them into roses. And this Chanukah is fashioned from the metal of a missile that was designed to impose hurt and destruction. And yet tonight it is the foundation on which we celebrate the light of hope and goodness and the Jewish future tonight. We continue with Rabbi Weissman.
Friday evening, we look to the sun as it makes its way towards the horizon. And as it dips over, we know that Shabbat is upon us. And in the spirit of that celebration, it has become our custom, following the Kabbalists who went out into the hills dressed in white, overwhelmed in ecstasy that Shabbat had come to welcome the Sabbath bride. Rabbi Shlomo Alkabetz wrote the words of Lecha Dodi as a poem, as an homage to this moment in our week, a moment that is made extra special during this week of Hanukkah. And so if you want to reach down and take out your prayer book, we're going to turn to pages 20 and 21. We'll rise as a community to welcome the Sabbath bride with the words of Lecha Dodi. And as we get to the final verse, we will turn towards the door to welcome the Sabbath bride.
L'shem multi berit v'lichila Lecha, Lecha Dodi. Sing it! Likrat, Likrat Kala Penei, Penei Shabbat Lecha Belala Likrat Shabbat Lechu v'nilcha Mekor habracha mero Shabbat. Lecha, lecha, dodi. Likrat, likrat, pala. Pene, pene, Shabbat. Neka, velala. We continue with the Baruch Hu. Please remain standing.
Our seats, we turn together to page 30. We read the words of Ma'ariv Aravim. Together, Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu melech ha'olam, asher bidvaro Ma'ariv Aravim, b'chochma poteach she'arim, uvitvuna mishanei itim, umachalif et hazmanim, umisader et hakochavim, B'mishmerotehem barakia kirtsono. Borei yom v'layla, golel or mipnei choshech. The choshech mipnei or.
Umavir yom umevin layla, umavdir ben yom uvein layla. Adonai tzvaot shemo, el chai v'kayam. Tamid yimloch aleinu le'olam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Hama'ariv Aravim. Olam Beit Yisrael.
Yisrael Amcha
Mishpatim, אותנו לימדת, על כן אדוני אלוהינו, בשוכבנו וקומנו נשיח בחוקיך, ונשמח בדברי תורתך, ובמצוותיך לעולם ועד. אהבת עולם בית ישראל עמך, אהבת תורה ומצוות, חוקים ומשפטים, אותנו לימדת, על כן אדוני אלוהינו, בשוכבנו וקומנו נשיח בחוקיך, ונשמח בדברי תורתך, ובמצוותיך לעולם ועד. אהבת עולם בית ישראל עמך.
One more time.
אהבת עולם בית ישראל עמך.
Please rise.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Vaed.
Please be seated.
Okay, repeat after me. With all your heart, with all your heart, with all your soul,
with all your soul,
with all your might,
with all your might,
with all your strength,
with all your strength,
with all your heart,
with all your
soul, with all your soul,
story of the Maccabees, the story of their fortitude to stand up to a mighty army that they thought they could never overwhelm, is a story that has inspired Jews for generation upon them, and especially the Jews of the land and the state of Israel. The Hanukkah story has inspired the state, and particularly the IDF, since the state's inception. As we celebrate the Hanukkah with the menorah tonight that we look at, we know that so many folks have stood to defend our people's homeland, inspired by this story. But I also think about what was it inspired the Maccabees to stand up. How did they know that they had the fortitude to go forward? They got their fortitude from our ancestors who went forward out of the land of Egypt, who also stood up to the mighty army of Pharaoh and said, "Let us go free." And so tonight, as we sing the words of Micha Mocha on page 40, we celebrate every single time our people said, "Our destiny is ours. It's just there for us to take it."
Are fun tonight. The next piece is a variation of our Hashkivenu, where we pray that we lie down in peace, rise up in peace. Let there be love and understanding among us.
Let there be love and understanding. From life's storms.
Sing with us.
Let there be love
Our celebration of Shabbat this evening continues with the words of Vishamru.
A little Motown. What the heck? Vishamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat le'dorotam beritol. Put your hands together. Vishamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat le'dorotam. Shabbat, 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 Beritolam, Kisheshet, Yamim, Yamim, Asa Adonai, Et HaShamayim, Et HaRaim, Vishamru b'nei Yisrael, Et HaShabbat. Okay, come on, everybody, get up and dance. Uvayom, Uvayom, Hashvihi, Hashvihi, Shabbat, Vayinafash, Shabbat, Vayinafash, Vishamru b'nei Yisrael, et HaShabbat, et HaShabbat, la'asot et HaShabbat le'dorotam, beritolam. Last time, Vishamru b'nei Yisrael, et HaShabbat, la'asot et HaShabbat le'dorotam, beritolam.
Stay standing. We're going to stay standing. We're going to continue with the Amidah, the central prayers of our service. The Amidah mentions 7 people by name, the 3 patriarchs and the 4 matriarchs. It does not mention Joseph, whose Torah portion always coincides with Hanukkah. Why? Well, Joseph is a guy who was thrown into a lot of pits and dealt with a lot of difficulties, just like those Maccabees. And the rabbis wanted us to strive to be like Joseph and the Maccabees, and every time we are thrown down and in a pit and we think life is too tough, we come back again. And so we stay standing and continue with the Amidah on page 46.
Na 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 Adonai. Na 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 Svatai Tivta. Na 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 Ufi Agid. Ufi Agid Tehilateh. Adonai.
atah Adonai Eloheinu Elohei Avotenu v'Imotenu Elohei Avraham Elohei Yitzchak Elohei Yaakov Elohei Sarah Elohei Rivka Elohei Rachel Elohei Leah Ha'el Hagadol Hagibor Hanorah El Elyon Gomer Chasadim Tovim Bekonei Hakol V'zocher Chasdei Avot v'Imahot U'mevii Geula Livnei Bneihem Lema'an Shemo Be'ahava Melech Ozer U'Moshia U'Magen Baruch atah Adonai Magin Avraham Be'ezrat Sarah Atah Gibor Le'olam Adonai Mechayeh Hakol Atah Rav Ve'Hoshia Mashiv HaRuach U'Morid HaGashem Mechakel Chayim Bechesed Mechayeh Hakol Berachamim Rabim Somech Noflim Verofeh Cholim Umatir Asurim Umekayem Emunato Lishenei Afar Michamocha Ba'al Gevurot Umidom Elach Melech Memit Umechayeh Umatzmiach Yeshua V'neman atah lahachayot hakol Baruch atah Adonai mechayeh hakol Atah kadosh v'shimcha kadosh U'kadoshim b'chol yom yahalelucha selah Baruch atah Adonai ha'el hakadosh.
Be seated. Val Kilmer, the actor, played Moses, the voice of Moses, in the cartoon of Prince of Egypt that tells the story of the movement of the Jewish people from slavery to freedom. Val Kilmer also played a great rocker like Freddie Mercury. He played Jim Morrison in the Doors movie. But in the movie Prince of Egypt, where he played Moses, he actually played another character. He also played the voice of God. And it was on purpose that in the movie Prince of Egypt that they gave the same voice to Moses and to God, because they wanted to reinforce the message that we are all beings created in the image of God, and to never take that for granted. After silent prayer, you will hear one of the most beautiful songs from that movie, Prince of Egypt. And when you believe, as the song tells us to do, you understand that we truly are beings created in the image of God. We continue now in silent prayer.
much to fear. We were moving mountains long before we knew we could. There can be miracles when you believe. Though hope is frail, it's hard to kill. Who knows what miracles you can achieve? When you believe, somehow you will. You will when you believe. This time of fear, when prayers so often proved in vain, hope seemed like the summer birds too swiftly flown away. Yet now I'm standing here with heart so full I can't explain, seeking faith and speaking words I never thought I'd say. There can be miracles when you believe. Though hope is frail, it's hard to kill. Who knows what miracles you can achieve? When you believe, somehow you will. You will when you there can be miracles when you believe. Though hope is frail, it's hard to kill. Who knows what miracles you can achieve? When you believe, somehow you will. Now you will. You will when you believe. When you believe. You will when you
At this time in our service, our thoughts turn to all those in need of God's healing presence. Please rise as we continue with our prayers for healing. V'shaberach avotenu v'imotenu. May the one who blessed our ancestors bless all those who are in need of healing. May God grant chazak va'amatz, courage and strength to all those who are in need of healing. May God grant chokhmah, wisdom, doing wacky things. May God grant chazak va'amatz to all those in need of healing. In our prayers this evening, Jim Alexander, Benita Appel, Fred Belkin, Jackie Bears, Michael Blackman, Margie Berman Block, Kathleen Bowersox, Monica Lowenthal-Butchnick, Dorothy Buxbaum, Leona Channon, Rusty Cobb, Gail Cohen, Mariella Contreras, Karina Doktoroff, Cheryl Elbrand, Arnold Ernay, Larry Feidelman, Sheila Feldman, Rhonda Finlay, Marty Fromowitz, Larry Guys, Clarice Goldstein, Jake Goldstein, Rona Guberman, Marsha Hoffman, Keith Hummer, Tracy Jackson, Mitch Kaplan, Bill Lazarus, Eleanor Lerner, Rita Lokitz, Melissa Madani, Marba Mallet, E.J. Manton, Moisha Ben Devora, Michael Penn, Jackie Robinson, Eileen Rosenbaum, Alan Rosenfeld, Matt Sakalov, Yetta Schlesinger, Shani Batsera, John Sirianos, Len Sirowitz, Mickey Sirowitz, Mark Sosin, Rabbi David Spitz, Michael Sprinzen, Samuel Vainberg, Tim Waldron, Eileen Yaspa, Barbara Jonensen, and those names that you add as my hand meets your gaze. Baruch atah Adonai Rofei HaCholim.
Mi shebe'erach imotenu mekor habrachot lavotenu lasos in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say Amen.
We remain standing and continue on page 282 with Aleinu L'Shabeach.
Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon hakol, l'ateit gedula le'oser breshit, shelo asanu kigoyei haratzot, ve'lo samanu kemishpachot ha'adama, shelo sam chelkeinu kahem, ve'gor aleinu kechol amonam. ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו אחד.
At this time in our service, we think of our loved ones whose death has recently taken from us, those who died in this season at years past, and those whom we've taken into our hearts as our own. If you are observing the yahrzeit, the anniversary of a death, or in the period of Shloshim have had a death in recent days, we invite you to rise when the name of your loved one is read. On the anniversaries of their death, we remember Mildred Agranow, Stephen Asner, Doris Baraban, Francis N. Barr, Margie Bass, Faye Bell, Philip Berman, Irene Bernhard, Edward Buchwald, Jerry Berger, Jeanette Lyons Bush, Dr. Melvin Clayman, Melvin B. Clayton, Bella Cohen, Shirley Cohen, Brian Cohen, Sylvia Collins, Dr. Morton J. Crow, B. Edison, Joseph Ender, Robert Feinstein, Lucille Feldesman, Edgar Feistal, Elio Ruth Fine, Sylvia Finkelstein, Gertrude Kerman Furman, Sarah Bank Gelman, Sarah Gelman, Burton Gimmelstab, Samuel Gitlin, Priscilla Glovsky, Ben Goldberg, Harry Goldstein, Walter Green, William Greenberg, William Greenspan, Sylvia Grossman, Pauline Gutterman, Harriet Hampton, Bruce Hausman, Edith Himmelbaum, Stella Hochstein Blair, Stanley Holtz, Mildred Hyman, Bruno Ilfelder, Lynn Jackman, Martin Kahn, Melvin Candell, Shirley Kaplan, Carolyn B. Kaufman, Ruth Hetover, Florence Kushner, Shira Dina Lazar, Roy A. Leibovitz, Louis Levy, Lucille Levitt, Joanne Liebman, David Loeb, Solomon Machulam, Rose Sternick Miller, Mary Mindell, Claire Mulk, Rose Abrams Naklis, Teresa Naiman, Leonard Neymark, Benjamin Nierenberg, Stephen Newman, Sarah Eipenheimer, Teresa Paralek, Howard Pollinger, Louis Pollock, Sam Rakis, Jerome Reich, Ryan Scott Rhino, Larry Rosenfeld, Sylvia Rothberg, Jacob Rubenstein, Margaret Serafin, Tilla Sherman, Abraham Spitz, Hannah Stanig, Chava Standig, Baruch Machal Standig, Malka Standig, Brana Standig, Moshe Standig, Ephraim Standig, Ovadia Standig, Fiza Standig, Sidney Stein, Rose Sunshine, Peter Sussman, Jack Tamarkin, Jerry Tamarkin, Esther Gurovitz Tobak, Joan Tucker, Miriam Turetsky, Oscar Warner, Charles Wortman, Jacob Wexler,
Joan Joy Wissenfeld, and Irving Wolin. And in the period of Shloshim, those who've been laid to rest in recent days, Barbara San Marcello, Sundell Sunny Judson, Florence Koish, Erica Gersten, Myron Mickey Granick, Rosalind Weiner, May Kaplan, Morton Sinkowski, Robert Bloom, Arnold Stein, Alan Aknowski, Harold Rodelinsky, Betty Wexler, Myrna Myers, and Morton Sinofsky. If you have a name you would like to share, we invite you to do so at this time in our prayers for Kaddish. Zichronam Levracha, may all their memories be for blessing. We rise and continue together as a community with the words of Mourner's Kaddish on page 294. We join together. Yitgadal v'yitgadash Shemei Rabbah Be'alma divrach yurtei v'yamlich malchutei B'chayechon uvyomechon B'chayei dechol Beit Yisrael Ba'agala v'zman kariv v'yimru Amen. Yehi Shemei Rabbah mevarach le'olam almei almaya Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal Shemei Kudusha b'richu la'ela min kol birchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata Ta'amiran be'alma v'yimru Amen. Yehi shlama rabba min Shemaya v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'yimru Amen. Oseh shalom b'romav hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'yimru Amen. May the source of peace and peace to all who mourn and comfort the bereaved among us, and let us say Amen. It is a pleasure at this time to invite forward our temple's president, Wendy Whalen, to share greetings on behalf of the Board of Trustees. Please be seated.
Shabbat Shalom. First, I'd like to say Mazel Tov to all the families who are celebrating their children's consecration tonight. And thank you to Art and Fran Siegel for leading us in blessings over candles and Kiddush. So, before we begin the zany Bohemian Maccabee Rhapsody, we do have a few important announcements. First, along with our COVID safety protocols, we want you to know that anybody who is participating in our skit tonight and has a speaking part was given the option to take their masks off after taking a PCR test. So everybody up here is safe. Next Friday, December 10th, join us for Shabbat services on virtual Bethel or here in person at 7:30. We will reflect on the power of forgiveness and how there is hope for reconciliation and renewal. There is stay after services for the Oneg and to schmooze with our clergy and friends. On Sunday afternoon, December 19th at 3 p.m., the amazingly fun and talented Dan Nichols, singer and songwriter, will perform live in concert outdoors on the back lawn here at the Schaefer Family Campus. He will be joined by our cantorial team, Cantor Lori Brock, Michelle Oslander-Cohen, and Jake Harris for this energetic afternoon of Jewish folk rock music. You can bring your lounge chair or blanket because there's limited seating. And remember, this outdoor concert is free and only for members of Temple Bethel. You can find more information about this on our website at tbeboca.org. Also, for all of those who so generously donated gifts for the Giving Tree this year, we do need volunteers for gift wrapping. So please see Robin Eisenberg, AKA Mattathias, tonight after services. And you may have noticed a brand new art installation in our lobby. Soaring Wisdom Moves Us Towards the Holy One. It's a beautiful representation of our congregation's love of learning. This artwork is dedicated to Rabbi Dan Levin in honor of his 25 years of service to Temple Bethel and the Jewish community. It is one of the many ways we will be honoring Rabbi Dan this year, including, of course, at the Bethel Gala on Saturday, April 9th, 2022. So enjoy the artwork and save the date. And now for some details about later. Tonight, after Bohemian Maccabee Rhapsody is over, if you have prepaid for Shabbat dinner, and I think almost 400 of you have, you can pick up your dinner just outside the north lobby. Dinner is pre-order only. But if there's a pickup line when you exit the service, feel free to just continue down the hill and enjoy the Hanukkah celebration. And then you can come back to get your food at the food distribution tables when the line is shorter. If you have not prepaid for dinner, but you would like a little nosh at the Oneg, just exit the service into the hallway, through the courtyard, and take the stairs to the Oneg section of the back lawn. And please also stay to enjoy the Hanukkah fun and games. As you make your way towards the celebration, please stop by the tzedakah box and consider making a contribution to our tzedakah fund. Our Social Action Committee disperses those funds to local nonprofits to support their important work. You can visit tbeboca.org for information about so many of our wonderful Temple Bethel events. So, Shabbat Shalom, Happy Hanukkah, and now, without further ado, we give you a Bohemian Maccabee Rhapsody.
Is this the sixth night we light with family? Recall with great pride our escape from Greek tyranny. Kindle the lights, remember the Maccabees. How did those 5 boys lead us to victory?
Once upon a time, 168 BCE, there lived a king named Antiochus IV. Now, this bloke had a huge ego.
How big was it?
Big enough that even had a city named for him, Antioch, which is in the most southern part of Turkey, near the Mediterranean.
Ooh, I just love the Mediterranean.
Well, the city might have been named for his father, and they might have named him for the city, but either way, he had a
big ego.
I am King Antiochus, and yes, I do have a rather mega large, super-sized ego. I am the most masterful, wonderful king there ever was. And in fact, I will expand my territories and someday rule the world. Come on, you slackers, let's go.
So Antiochus took his army to fight a war in Egypt, and on the way home, he passed through the land of Israel, called Judah at the time, and said,
"You know what? This place is rather lovely." Yes, I want it. Yes, I'm going to take over this place.
Now, Antiochus was totally into Greek culture.
I just love being Greek. I eat Greek, speak Greek, wear the latest Greek fashions, and worship all of the Greek gods.
So Antiochus made a proclamation to all the people of Judah.
You must be Greek like me. You must speak Greek, eat Greek, and above all, you must worship all of the Greek gods. And if I catch you reading from that bloody Torah, you will be obliterated. Tonight I'm gonna have myself a real Greek time. I feel alive in the world. I'll turn it inside out, yeah. I'm floating around in ecstasy. So don't stop me now. Don't stop me, 'cause I'm having a good time. Having a good time. I'm a shooting star leaping through the sky like a tiger, defying the laws of gravity. I'm a chariot passing by like mighty Apollo. I'm gonna go, go, go. There's no stopping me. I'm burning through the sky, yeah. 200 degrees, that's why they call me King Fahrenheit. I'm traveling at the speed of light. I wanna make a supersonic Greek out of you. Don't stop me now. I'm having such a good time. I'm having a ball. Don't stop me now. If you wanna have a good time, just give me a call. Don't stop me now. Don't stop me, 'cause I'm having a good time. Don't wanna stop at all.
The Jews, they had a big problem.
We have a big problem.
If they ignored his proclamation and they continued to study Torah and practice their sacred faith, Antiochus would obliterate them.
Oh man, my bar mitzvah is next week. Does this mean we have to cancel again? We've rescheduled 3 times since the pandemic.
Oh, it's okay, darling. They couldn't just give up on what they believed, their way of life, following God's moral laws and teachings.
Blimey!
So Antiochus made his jolly way back to Jerusalem, and he extinguished the menorah.
Extinguished the menorah? Oh dear.
Yes, oh dear! And dedicated the holy temple in Jerusalem to Zeus.
Zeus! Double drats.
And then he sent his soldiers around his newly conquered territory to make sure that everyone was following Antiochus's decree.
His soldiers went from place to place, bringing everyone to the center of town. One day they arrived in the city of Modi'in.
Cheerio, darlings. I'm King Antiochus, and this is little Piggy. You Jews need to prove your Greek loyalty to me, your ultra-cool, extremely handsome, godly King Antiochus. So, who here will be the first to sacrifice Miss Piggy? You!
I don't know. It's all Greek to me. Alrighty, I guess I'll do it, although my bubby will turn in her grave.
Standing in the crowd was a local priest, Mattathias. He couldn't believe that his people had gone mad and would turn away from what God had commanded them. He looked on with utter disgust.
I'm disgusted, revolted, and overall grossed out by the behavior of my people. How could they turn their back on our religion, our culture, our people?
So Mattathias grabbed a sword, ran forward, and killed the Jew for his treacherous idolatry.
Mattathias just killed a man, put a sword onto his head, chopped his head off, now he's dead. Mattathias, life has to go on, but now the king has thrown it all away. Mattathias, please don't make us cry if we're not back again this time tomorrow. Carry on, because Tuesday really matter.
Then Mattathias turned and attacked the soldiers.
Another one bites the dust. Another one bites the dust. And another one's gone, and another one's gone, and another one bites the dust. Another one bites the dust.
Woo!
Now Mattathias had 5 sons: Alvin, Simon, Theodore.
No, you daft twit! Mattathias' beloved sons were John, Simon, Judah, Eleazar, and Jonathan. And they had really long hair.
Our dad, he really loved our 5 sons. From love, we raised, and then some. We are brothers. Maccabees are made from love. We came from love. From love. We cried. Happy baby. Prayed all over. We grew to be strong. But we obeyed our fathers. Every wish we kind of liked it. Maccabees came from love. We are a family. We know how to run and roll. We are not lazy. Whatever comes to river,
Strongest man we've ever met.
oh yes indeed.
I'm John.
I'm John. I'm Simon. I'm Jonathan.
I'm Judah, the great one, who leads our brothers in the quest to be free. So get ready.
Ready.
Maccabees fighting for love.
We gotta be cool, relax, get hip, and get on our tracks. Cut tight. We're gonna fight the Greeks with all our might. So get ready, ready. Maccabees are made from love. Inspired by the God above. Maccabees are made from love.
Lads, I'm so proud of you. I've raised you in love. With all that goodness, I know that you'll have jolly good judgment.
Oh, thanks, Dad. We love you too.
Thank you, son. But we have a problem.
A problem? What kind of problem?
Well, there's that big oaf, Auntie Chocus.
Auntie Chocus? Do you mean Auntie Ocus?
Auntie whatever. That Greek is keen on taking away our freedom.
Yes, we heard about that, but the Greeks are many and we are few.
My sons, you must rise up against the Greeks. I'm getting as old as Queen Elizabeth, and you must defend our people.
No worries. We are strong. We are armed with faith. We are armed with confidence. We are armed with belief that we are fighting not just for ourselves, but for our children and all children's children. Oh, yes, that's lovely. But you know, we're fighting for our covenant with God now. Enough with the singing. We have to get on with our fight and with the story. Together, there is nothing we cannot do.
Oh, my boys, you make me so proud.
So Judah and his blokes fled to the hills. Ta-ta.
Antiochus rallied the armies of other lands he conquered.
I'm rallying the armies of the lands I conquered. Tally-ho!
Oh, bugger, there's a lot of them.
Booger? Yes, I've got boogers in my nose. Lots of them.
Oh, me too. And you know, sometimes when you reach in and you just can't get them. I don't know.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I said bugger, there's a lot of them.
A lot of boogers?
Simon says.
Oh, stop, not boogers. He said, oh, bugger. And there's a lot of them. And Simon says, stop this silly nonsense. There's a lot of Greeks.
Greek yogurt?
Oh, no.
I know that.
You twit. There are a lot of big Greeks, and we are just wee little lads, small and puny.
Okay, Jen, stop. Well, the Maccabees! Aren't we the Maccabees?
Yes.
We're fighting with God on our side, and God is bigger than any Greek. We must fight for truth, justice, and the Almighty. And proving that we are small but mighty, we shall rock the ages!
Give us some notes, will you? We're having trouble. But if we are boys, make a big noise, playing in the street. Gonna be a big Maccabee. Get some mud on your face, a big disgrace.
Gonna kick you
out all over the place. Singing, we will rock you. We will rock you. Buddy, we are Maccabees, tough men shouting in the street. Gonna take on the world today. Got blood on the face, they're a big disgrace. Waving green flags all over the place. Singing, we will rock you.
Sing it!
We will rock you. Yeah. Antiochus, children, old men, poor men, be something. Got schmutz on your face, a big disgrace. The Jews will put you back into your place.
Do it.
We will rock you.
Sing it with us!
We will rock you.
Oh, my louder.
We will rock you.
One more time.
We will rock you.
Raise the finger.
So, we fought with valor, and the enemy fled before us, like Harry and Meghan to an Oprah interview.
Oh, I love Oprah.
This was supposed to be a fortnight battle, and it turned into 4 years.
A 3-hour tour.
Simon, you're mad. You're digressing. Back to the story.
All right, mate. We've hidden in caves, waged battles, not knowing where our next meal of fish and chips could come from.
Is there a pub in this cave? I could use a pint.
You're joking.
I'm so tired.
My tootsies are killing me.
Judah, get us out of here.
Antiochus, your time has come. I'll send shivers down your spine. You'll be whinging all the time. Goodbye, everybody. You've got to go. Gotta leave us Jews alone and face the truth. Our God, Adonai, Hashem won't let us die. Greeks, you wish you'd never been born at all.
Of a Jew, Mazel Tov, will they live to death a horror, reading from the Torah, very, very frightening me. Antiochus,
I'm just a poor Jew, nobody loves me.
He's just a poor Jew from a poor family, spare him his life from this monstrosity.
Come, easy go, will you let us go?
The Greeks, oh no, they will not let us go.
Let us go!
Oy vey, they will not let us go.
Let us go!
Hashem, they will not let us go. Will not let us go. Will not let us go. No, 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 no. Oh, Antiochus, 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 let us go.
You Maccabees, you will never be a Jew who's free from me. From me. So you think you can stop me and spit in my eye? So you think you can betray me and love Adonai? Oh, Judah, can't do this to me, Judah. Jews got out. You Jews gotta get right out of here!
We've rallied town after town to join us in the fight. No one thought we had a chance. Sure, we've lost some, but we've won some. I mean, look at them out there. They're nervous, they're scared. And just over the hills, you can see the temple in a distance. Can't you see it just in the distance? We just need one more push.
I'm pushing.
No, not that kind of push, though I do wish you well, fair maiden. No, a push to the temple.
Okay, Judah, lead us to victory. I'm with you, bro.
I'm in it too. I'm in it for Mom and Dad. I'll do it for my children.
I'll do it for my children's children.
I'll do it for rock and roll.
So, in one final push,
the Maccabees defeated King Antiochus and returned to Jerusalem.
Do, another one bites the dust. Do, another one bites the dust. And another one's gone, and another one's gone, and another one bites the dust. Do, another one bites the dust.
quickly, they got busy tidying up their holy temple. They cleaned up the altar. They swept out all the Greek rubbish. They just needed one more thing.
We need to light the menorah. We need to restore God's light to God's house.
We need to find some oil for our menorah.
I only found a little bit, but I don't think it's going to be enough.
Hey, what are you blokes talking about? When we started this battle, what did we have? Faith. When we were hiding in the caves, what did we have?
Faith?
I didn't hear you.
Faith.
Thank you. When we went into battle, what did we have?
Faith.
When we stormed Jerusalem, what did we have?
Faith.
And each time that faith brought us through. Now, don't dilly-dally. Let's go light the menorah.
Woo. And the oil lasted not just one night, but for 8 nights.
And by then we made enough oil so that the menorah was never extinguished.
And in the centuries that followed, there were those who rose up to extinguish not only the light of the menorah, but the light of hope and faith in the Jewish heart.
But we never stopped believing, and we never lost our faith.
We paid our dues, time after time. We've done our sentence, but committed no crime. And bad mistakes, we've made a few. We had our shares and kicked in our face, but we've come through. To go on and on and on and on. We are the Jews, my friend. Sing it with us. And we'll keep on fighting to the end. Thanks to the Maccabees, we are the champions. No time for losing, 'cause we are the champions. We are the Jews, my friends. And we'll keep on fighting to the end. Thanks to the Maccabees, we are the champions. No time for losing, 'cause we are the champions of
We want to thank our incredible cast, our wonderful choirs who have done such a beautiful job tonight.
Woo. Let's hear it for the musicians, Mindy Akari, Jeff Renza, James McCoy, Russ Spiegel, and the magnificent guitar playing of Jake Harris. Let's join in the words of I Am a Latka. I am a Latka. I am a Latka. And I am waiting for Hanukkah to come. I am a Latka. I am a Latka. And I am waiting for Hanukkah to come. I am a Latka. I am a Latka. And I am waiting for Hanukkah to come. I am a Latka. I am a Latka. And I am waiting for Hanukkah to come. Hamotzi lechem min haaretz. We give thanks to God for bread. Our voices rise in song together as our joyful prayer is said. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Amen.
Shabbat shalom and happy Hanukkah.
Happy Hanukkah, everybody.